Hey, it's Sam, and I'm inviting you to an upcoming class called the Navamsa Code, where I'm going to help you understand how to unlock your next level agreements. You know, you're not unlucky in relationships, you're following a pattern. And for the first time, I'm going to teach on the Navamsa chart. I'm going to dive deep into it. I've done a lot of relationship astrology classes over the years. I'm going to go into this because it really deserves its own sort of class. It's really the inner workings of your karmic good luck, bad luck, and how all of your agreements are a reflection of this lifetime of karma and the amount of sort of like merit that you have gotten through all your past lives, for example, and how they show up in your agreements with other people and in your relationships. And again, it's called the Navamsa Code, Next Level Connections, Unlocking Your Deeper Connections. It'll be taught live February 22nd and 23rd. You get lifetime access to the recordings, but as it says here, you know the Navamsa chart, again, it really contextualizes all of your relationship karma, showing it to be your greatest path to empowerment in this lifetime. And I'm really looking forward to teaching this class. One of the things that you do get between now and then, as you're seeing this, I have 3 live bonus classes that I'm going to be giving to those who pay for the live class. The first bonus is February 13th at 11 a.m. Of course, if you're seeing this afterward, then you'll get access to it, but it's on the Rashi and Harmonic Chart Matrix. How to understand the difference, really, in how to read the harmonic charts as a subset of the Rashi chart. Again, this is very confusing to people. They always mess this up, where they think one chart can contradict the other one or whatever. Nothing is contradicting anything, but you have to know how to read the harmonic charts and other charts as a subset of the main chart. Then on February 16th, relationship principles in the Navamsa chart. I'm going to go over an overview of all of the relationship themes, such as the masculine and feminine energy, Venus and Mars, the sun and the moon, 7th house ruler. All of these kinds of principles need to be examined from the Rashi chart in the Navamsa and then also in the Navamsa itself. I'm going to show you how to do it, obviously, as an overview. Then in the weekend course, we're going to dive into it with a lot of depth and a lot of case studies. Then the third bonus, February 20th at 11 a.m., spiritual karma in your agreements and in the Navamsa chart, which means that the Navamsa shows the good merit that you have in your agreements. Now, again, we tend to think that it's just relationships, romantic agreements, because we're very attached to that. We have a lot of passion around that. And it's not just about romantic partnerships. For example, business partnerships are also very important agreements. You want to succeed in your work, right? How much of your work comes down to your ability to make a good agreement in order to feel valued, in order to know what your value is, ask for your value, and then hold the boundary around value. This is all shown in the Navamsa as well, that part of it, right? Because many times people don't even try in their career because they've been so disappointed, and first of all, they don't feel they're valued enough. So they're afraid to ask for something because they're afraid of getting rejected and then feeling bad. And all this stuff happens because they just simply don't understand how to make good agreements that they feel good about. So in many ways, this is really a kind of thumbnail of what the Navamsa is. It's your tendencies. And again, one of the things here, it says, what is the one problem and common denominator in all your relationships? Well, it's you. It's not really a problem, but it's the common denominator. But not necessarily in the way you think. You're carrying the same unresolved karma, the same expectations, and the same patterns from one relationship to the next. This is what you bring into every relationship. Every partner you've ever had, every business agreement, every friendship, what they have in common is you. But again, that's a very simple thing to say, but it's not just you in general. It's you in relation to another, making an agreement that you want to, that you feel good about. So again, until you can see this clearly, patterns just keep repeating. Now, you don't mind when the good patterns repeat, but you don't like when the negative patterns repeat. So again, we keep attracting the same patterns. Certain relationship dynamics keep repeating, even with different people. Some connections feel effortless while others feel like constant work. Attraction isn't enough. What's creating lasting harmony, right? What are your tendencies? So again, the Navamsa holds a hidden key. While the birth chart shows surface level connections to some extent and the aggregate of your interactions with people. This is one of the things I'm going to go over in the free class here that I'm also doing on February 13th, Rashi and Harmonic Chart Matrix, is how to understand what the Rashi chart is as an overall aggregate of influences in relation to each other. But so it kind of shows the surface level of your interactions, but you might put more importance on, let's say, a certain aspect of like a work type of relationships than romantic or etc. So again, that's what I'm going to go over. But again, it's not just theory. I've been doing this and practicing these things for more than 20 years, and you'll see a system that works. I've been doing it for, again, about 20 years. This Rashi Harmonic Chart Matrix. You'll see real-life case studies showing how the Navamsa exposes long-term patterns. You can analyze your own chart, understand your karmic relationship cycles, and you'll walk away with insights that change how you navigate every connection in your life. Because again, you need to understand what you're bringing, and it'll allow you to see through other people's eyes. So again, this 2-day immersion will give a profound understanding of your own nature and the tools to transform the way you experience relationships forever. So as you see here, it's only $47. You can click there. This is about 10 hours of classes on that weekend. I'll go over the itinerary here in a minute. But then you also get bonus course that's available immediately, the Relationships 80/20 Fast Track course that I already taught a couple years ago. In 2021, actually, I taught a very popular course on Vedic relationship astrology where I covered the 3D relationship approach, where you analyze yourself, synastry, and then the Vedic Kuta matrix. And you can see this is from that weekend class for 4 hours, 14 minutes here for day 1, 4 hours, 18 minutes, day 2. So it was about 8.5 hours. And there was also a special bonus Q&A day as well. And so you get access to that right now. And for people that got that class before, as you see, there was about 200 people that have gotten the class, 192, 26 5-star reviews. People who got that class, you'll really want to get this one as well, because this is really the continuation where I look in the Navamsa chart. And again, I haven't taught on the Navamsa before because I wanted to make a dedicated course on it. I didn't want to have it be part of relationship class. Again, because it's much more than that. This is also the reason, because relationships aren't just, what kind of partner will I have? Although these are things you'll also see. Why we're attracted to certain type of people, because of what we're bringing in. But it's the overall good karma or difficult karma that you have with other people in this lifetime. So again, one of the best types of karma you can have in this lifetime is the karma to make good agreements and to be able to know how to make a good agreement that you feel good about. So again, what you'll learn in the weekend course, your tendencies and projections that you bring into all relationships. Again, this is what everyone has in common that you relate to. What everyone has in common, the people, what every person you've ever been involved with has in common is you. So, and how you relate to them. Not just you like, oh yeah, I'm this, but also how you relate to others. Like, for example, I have Scorpio ascendant, right, in the D9, and I have the moon in the 7th house. I have 3 planets in the 12th house. I have Jupiter in the fifth house, in the fourth house. So what does all that mean? And how does that compare with my Rashi chart, with my birth chart, where there's like a Gemini rising and all this other stuff? So again, understanding also how that overall nature through the Rashi chart filters down into the specific interactions with other people in the D9, in the Navamsa chart. So again, this is a very powerful snapshot of you, even just your interactions and your inner conflicts or sense of ease with other people that you bring. So again, why this matters is so you can put yourself in other people's shoes, so you can understand their perspective when dealing with you. So instead of, always feeling confused or feeling like a victim of circumstance when dealing with others, because this is what I hear a lot. People are either very confused, or they think, why is everybody like this, or why are people this way? No, you're seeing people through your projection. Again, so the big question, do you want to go through the rest of your life feeling misunderstood? Right? If that's the case, then maybe you shouldn't learn about relationships or actually study with me at all. And I don't say this to be disrespectful, but some people don't really want to know the truth. They would rather stay safely insulated in their victimhood and those feelings of being misunderstood or feeling that life is unfair. And again, I don't mean this to sound glib. If you did what I did for a living, you would understand what I'm saying. I do readings where people, they just don't want to hear it. They want to say, I want to get an astrology reading. Now tell me when the soulmate's going to drop into my lap, and don't tell me anything about myself, because I don't want to hear any of that. I want to hear when I'm going to get what I want. And I don't want to hear, by the way, and it's not even a fault. It's not even like, well, I'm here to say it's their fault or something. No, I'm just showing what the tendencies are. But the more we're locked into this perspective, the more we can tend to feel like there's a sort of blame game going on. And it's kind of in a sort of defensiveness. So again, this is going to help to dismantle all of that. There's no reason to feel that way. We all have tendencies. Because even so, there are people that we just get along with very well, right? So masculine, feminine dynamics shown through the Navamsa ascendant, very important. Matching the gender, strengthening, weakening the partnerships. Like I said, I'm a man, I have a lot of masculine energy, but my Navamsa is actually Scorpio, which is a feminine sign, right? And the moon is in Taurus, feminine, right? So again, what does this mean? Very important to understand how to interpret this. And a tendency, and again, like an inner conflict or strength or support shown in that chart, right? And this matters because if you're a man with a feminine charged ascendant in the Navamsa or vice versa, it can show some sort of cross-circuiting, also, like I said, relative to the, Rashi chart, and then you compare it to the Navamsa chart. So the big question, have you felt like you were drawn spiritually to things that aren't in alignment with other parts of your nature? Again, because the Navamsa chart, again, it's not just the relationship chart. It's also the karma that we have, and we get drawn to certain things. So again, this is a principle shown by comparing the ascendant from the birth chart with the ascendant in the harmonic chart, right? And then so there are other things as well. I don't want this video to go on, but all of the planets in the Navamsa chart have to be looked at as part of the relationship matrix. Sun and moon are sovereign energies, which relate more to like father, mother energies. Mars, Venus are the passion energies, right? Often our desire to get what we want, which is Mars, and our desire to please other people and be respected for it, Venus, are at odds with each other. This is why Mars and Venus are so hot in that relationship matrix. How do they show up in the Rashi chart? I'm sorry, in the Navamsa chart as compared to the Rashi chart as well. Then all the other planets as well, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and the nodes, right? What is our overall karma with these in the D9, in the Navamsa chart, and how do they show up in our agreements? So we're going to be bringing these things together because, again, you've probably also heard, if you do know about the Navamsa, it's also a lot of other, I think, sort of illusions around it, like, well, isn't the Navamsa chart the chart of your later life? And all this kind of stuff, which really, no. I'm going to explain how to read the Navamsa, just what it is as well. It's the D9, which is the ninth harmonic. And what is the ninth house, right? Blessings, guru, these kinds of things. How does that relate to relationships, partnerships, agreements? We're going to make that make sense to you, because they're not often sensible. It's not often a sensible connection. It also confuses people. Well, I thought it was relationships. How can it be about my, marriage and my relationships, but also be the spiritual chart of past life merit? What is all that? We're gonna unravel that. And of course, timing is everything. One of the most important ways to use the harmonic charts, all of them, including the Navamsa, is for timing, like for dashas and whatnot. So again, right now you can get the Navamsa code, only $47, and you'll get this first bonus class here on February 13th at 11 a.m. And then you'll also get access to the full bonus class here, this Relationships 80/20 Fast Track. Again, you can see all of the testimonials here. This is a few. This isn't all. This is a few of them. We have the itinerary here. This is a general itinerary where I go over the synastry factors from D1 to D9, seeing your partner's nature in the D9 and dashas, how things unfold. Then day 2, deeper dive into all 7 planets in the Navamsa, and then some case studies and whatnot. So again, this is going to be an excellent weekend where we go over the Navamsa code and next level connections so that you can really understand your relationship style, your agreement style, the types of agreements that you make, and how they can be improved and how they can be aligned with that higher spiritual purpose and spiritual matrix, which is really on a deeper level what the Navamsa chart is all about. So check it out, and I look forward to seeing you on the bonus classes. And again, if you're seeing this afterward, the bonus classes were done and you have access to them when you register.